your dreams.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video, and today I'm just going to be talking about Jingliu. I know I'm a little late to the party, but whatever, fuck it. I'm gonna make this video anyways. By the way, if you happen to like this video, just leave a like and subscribe. Free-to-play friendly is a pretty loose term because you can play this game free-to-play and clear everything just fine. I would say that Jingliu is relatively free-to-play friendly for quite a few reasons. For one, she is relatively easy to build. She ascends with more crit damage, so getting high crit damage on Jingliu is going to be a simple task. One of Jingliu's talents, Crescent Transmigration, whenever Jingliu gets 2 stacks of size G, she will basically get free crit rate. So not only is she getting free crit damage from her ascending talent, she also gets free crit rate in her general kit. So when you are farming relics for Jingliu, you really don't have to stress too much about getting crit rate and crit damage, since you're basically getting some of those stats for free in Jingliu. So if you are a player that's looking for a new character that's easy to build and it's also a very good DPS, I would highly recommend that you pull for Jingliu. Access to a pretty decent free-to-play light cone for Jingliu, the Fall of the Eon. Whenever the wearer of this light cone attacks an enemy, it'll increase the wearer's attack. This can happen up to 4 times. When the wearer inflicts weakness break on enemies, the wearer's damage will increase for 2 turns. If you are a free-to-play player with Bronya, this could be your luck, because with this light cone and with Bronya, they're both going to synergize really well with Jingliu, because in order for Jingliu to enter her spectral transmigration state, she has to use her skill twice. With Bronya in the party, you'll enable Jingliu to attack again and she'll enter the spectral transmigration state pretty quickly. Jingliu gets 3 free hits with Bronya in the party, since whenever Jingliu enters her state, she'll get a fast forward action and will attack again. And if you have this light cone equipped with Jingliu, that's basically 3 free stacks that you're getting already. Don't fret if you don't have Bronya, but this light cone is still pretty good. If you compare this light cone to Clara's light cone, I think it's only like a small difference in damage. So you're still going to be clearing a good amount of content with this light cone on Jingliu. And since this light cone is free, you can basically get this light cone anytime. Other free-to-play options for light cones that Jingliu has is, one is called a Secret Vow. Wearer's damage will be increased by 20%, and if the enemy has higher HP or equal to your HP, then you also deal an additional 20% more damage. An increase of damage is always pretty good for Jingliu, so it is a really good light cone. And the last free-to-play option I'm going to talk about is the Blue Sky, or Under the Blue Sky. This will increase Jingliu's attack by 16%. When the wearer of this light cone defeats an enemy, which Jingliu will do most of the time, it'll increase her crit rate for 12% for 3 turns. Since Jingliu's spectral of transmigration state grants her crit rate already, with this light cone you're going to be getting additional even more crit rate. More crit rate equals more chances for you to crit the enemy, which is always really good. So when it comes to free-to-play light cone options, Jingliu does have a decent amount. However, I would still recommend that you try to aim for the Fall of the Eon, since it's pretty easy to get and it's a 5-star one. When it comes to free-to-play comps, you have various many options depending on who you have. First free-to-play team comp, and it's very free-to-play. Basically, it's Natasha, Asta, and Pella. Natasha providing the heals and the debuff removing. Asta providing more speed, giving Jingliu more actions in a turn, so she'll be able to activate her spectral transmigration state a little bit more quickly. Pella is a really good debuffer paired with Jingliu, because Pella does have an AoE debuffer that debuffs the enemy's defense. And since Jingliu does have a bit of AoE in her kit when she activates the spectral transmigration state, she will synergize pretty well with Pella. You can both also freeze enemies, which will also be pretty useful, because when you can freeze the enemies, that's another way to sustain yourself, since you don't have to worry about the enemy attacking you when they're frozen. I do think Pella is the best Nihility character for Jingliu, since Jingliu and Pella can freeze enemies and they both have a bit of AoE in their kits. I'm not saying Silverwolf is bad, but Silverwolf's main gimmick is adding weakness to the enemy. You could run Pella, Jingliu, Silverwolf, and Lynx for a better efficiency when adding the weaknesses to the enemies. Silverwolf's random debuffs from her normal attacks are not that bad either. However, they are RNG based, and Silverwolf specializes more in single target, and Jingliu can do AoE. I just think it's going to be a little awkward running Silverwolf with Jingliu if you're not running another ice or another quantum character. Other healer options besides Natasha is Bailu, who is a standard character. Lynx, who is pretty good since her AoE heals can also cleanse you as well. Natasha can cleanse, but you can only do it in a single target ally. Luacha is also really good. He can heal pretty consistently, and he can also cleanse. His heals also don't cost that much skill points either. You can also run preservation characters with Jingliu, like the Trailblazer. Our Trailblazer is just generally pretty good at their job. Preservation Trailblazer is generally ranked higher than their destruction form because the preservation one is just very good at its job, and since they're easy to max out, they'll do even a better job at their preservation role. Gepard is also a really fantastic option. However, he is standard, but if you do have him, you should definitely run him with Jingliu. And since he's also ice, he can also freeze enemies along with Jingliu, providing even more sustain to the team. I do have Gepard, but I don't like using males. I want to use females only, so my Gepard is going to be staying at level 1. Nonetheless, a very good option, don't get me wrong. Fu Shen is a little bit riskier to use with Jingliu, mostly because Fu Shen is not going to be mitigating the damage that's coming from Jingliu's HP drain. The only reason you're most likely going to be using Fu Shen with Jingliu is that you have Fu Shen at E1 because I think her E1 increases the crit damage. Also, Fu Shen's skill, the Matrix of Prescience, will increase your allies' crit rate. But with E1 Fu Shen, you can increase your Jingliu's crit rate even further and crit damage even further, thus increasing your damage. So I wouldn't recommend you use Fu Shen with Jingliu unless you have Fu Shen at E1. When it comes to other harmony options, you got characters like Bronya, who work really well with Jingliu, because Bronya can allow Jingliu to act again and activate her spectral transmigration state even quickly. Bronya's ult also gives out more crit damage, something that Jingliu could use to increase her damage. So they both synergize really, really well together. If you have a Bronya that's just, sitting in your party that's like leveled and stuff, I would definitely recommend you pull for Jingliu because they synergize really well. Tingween is also a really great option. Her buff lasts for 3 turns, which is pretty good, so you don't have to use her skill that often. Ultimate also regenerates energy and increases the allies' damage. Also really easy to build since she scales off of attack. Overall, Jingliu, an amazing character. Either you are free to play or you are a whale, she is great. She's not going to cost as much skill points because when she's in her state of transmigration state, her skill does not cost skill points. Very easy to build since her kit basically gives her free crit rate and crit damage. You can either run the 4-piece Glacier set or the 4-piece Quantum set. I don't even think it really matters, what you're running. I think it's only like a 2% difference. I'm running 2-piece Ice and the 2-piece Cowboy attack because, that's the only things I have. Cannot wait for other future characters to buff her even further because I will definitely pull them for Jingliu. That's basically about it. All about Jingliu. I mean, this video was kind of like, I don't even know what to call this video. That's enough of my rambling. Let me know what you guys think about Jingliu in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye bye now. Come again soon.